watched him at the state tournament when he played with Doug McDermott. So I was a huge Harrison Barnes fan, and like now actually Harrison Barnes is a fan of me. My teammates the best I can, but at the same time I want to be able to score the ball. So the more I can do that, the better it's going to be for our team overall.
Was the 30% decline in viewership of Team USA women's basketball something you heard about? How did we go from 3 million to 2.5 million viewers? We'll explain why these Olympic champions are suddenly having trouble drawing viewers. We can learn a shocking story by analyzing these numbers. Do you remember the time when the United States women's basketball team was unbeatable? As much as 11.4 million people were tuning in to watch in 2012. Sure enough, over 11 million viewers couldn't tear themselves away from the screen to witness our ladies dominate the court. It feels like we've entered a parallel universe as we move forward. That game that Belgium played not long ago, it was only seen by 3 million people, not a mere drop. That is a free fall. We're only talking about a fraction of what they used to bring in.
This is basketball or football or...
There's like plays you have to know. It's different because you're like 100%. Individual on team sport.
Yeah.
Significance and impact, like she is a one of one in her lane, and she has inspired an entire generation of young girls to think.
Imagine selling out Madison Square Garden and then playing in a high school gym. That's about it. We didn't come to this place by accident. Perhaps people aren't watching basketball anymore. You might be thinking right about now. However, please be patient because that is completely incorrect. The team for guys, they are still way ahead of the pack in terms of ratings. On average, 9.4 million people watch each game. That is 3 times the amount that women receive now. It seems like the men are playing in the NBA finals while the women are stuck in preseason, but there's more to the story. Tell me who else isn't doing as well as the women's Olympic team playing the WNBA All-Star game. That is correct. You did in fact hear it. Joining Caitlin Clark in watching the game was 3.5 million people, 50,000 more than the United States Olympic team brought to the games. Clark may not be on the Olympic squad, but she is still gaining more and more admirers. So what's going on here? Is it all about the figures, or is there more to the story? Is there a general downturn in support for women's basketball? Absolutely not. The WNBA All-Star Games popularity is a reflection of the sport's widespread appeal among female basketball fans. Seeing the right players is all that matters to them. Maybe it has something to do with star power. Clark reportedly has a lot of it according to his fans, but where is all that A-list talent on Team USA? Has the public failed to recognize some of our most famous figures? Is it something else entirely? The bigger picture must be considered here. The 2021 Summer Olympics saw a decline in viewership. We had to drastically cut back on watching sports because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The absence of crowds and unfamiliar time zones adds up. However, even when compared to previous Olympic contests, the women's team continues to underperform. If the Olympics were a huge department store, women's basketball would be the front and center attraction. That was the case in the past. At this very moment, as if it had been relegated to the far corner, people are rushing past it on their route to other sporting events. The intriguing part, though, is that the story doesn't stop here. A brand new chapter has started. In the past, Team USA has encountered challenges. They've shocked everyone, broken records, and inspired countless others. The ratings are falling. There's still one more hurdle to overcome. Allow me to be completely forthright for a second. The women's basketball team from Team USA is facing a major crisis and falling ratings. This team was once unstoppable, but they're struggling to attract fans these days. So what's going on here? Why are people tuning out of the game faster than a crossover dribble? The power of stars is a good place to start. Do you remember when the women's squad featured a slew of famous athletes? People whose names you'd recognize even if you weren't a huge fan? Currently, I have the impression that something is lacking. Is there a bond between these athletes and their fans, despite how incredible they are? Comparable to viewing a film in which the lead actor is absent, the experience is still entertaining but lacking something essential. Now we get to the meat of the matter. Picking a squad did they pick the right players, registering with you? Still, you shouldn't feel alone. Some have said that the team didn't have the top players on the field. It would appear that they are engaging in a chess game during the height of 3D chess's popularity on a global scale. Have we overlooked any potential game changers that could put the lights on in terms of ratings and scoreboard performance? The focus isn't just on the players, though. The cultural landscape surrounding sports is changing at the speed of light. There are more choices than ever before for viewers. In addition to deciding whether or not to watch the game, they must also decide between basketball and some other sport. Streaming, social media, you name it. The fight for the attention of viewers is fierce, and Team USA is presently on the losing end of it. You might be wondering, is this the end for Team USA? Right about now, hold your horses, slow down a bit. Despite Despite its apparent focus on sports, this is actually a classic hero's journey story. There is no greater challenge than the one our heroes are facing. Yes, they have reached the very beginning of their adventure. Remember though that this is where the real action of any good story begins. Think about it. Uncertainty has been a part of the journey for every legendary sports team and individual. The challenges they face, their shortcomings, whether you fall or not, is less important than how you recover from each setback. And right now, Team USA is in the same spot. Still, they're in a precarious position. That the ratings are falling. There's more to it than meets the eye. We're being told the tale of these athletes and the difficulties they faced. Light is shining on the mountaintop they need to reach the top of, and believe me when I say that mountain is steep, but the truth is, you can't just sit on mountains. You have to climb them. In order to succeed, one must face and overcome obstacles, and the squad that has the greatest shot at turning things around is Team USA. Because of their talent, drive, and history of achievement, they are well equipped to do the job. Finding that spark again is all that's left to do. Remember that WNBA All-Star game compared to the Olympic team, the one with more favorable ratings? That was it, Clark. Her performance was witnessed by 3.5 million people in total. 50,000 more than the United States Olympic team brought to the games. Does it actually exist? In terms of attendance, a college athlete outperforms the best in the world. In any case, why? Why is everyone so enthralled by Clark's possession? There is no doubt she radiates vitality. When Clark steps onto the court, you can't help but stare. Her special skill makes it seem like any given possession has the potential to be the game winner. You just know something out of the ordinary is about to happen, like when you're watching a basketball magician perform, but you have no idea what it is. Think of Clark now as an Olympic competitor. Would the figures that we observe be different? Would the audience be more enthusiastic? Without a doubt, they would. Rather than being merely a player, Clark is a phenomenon. Even someone who isn't a fan of basketball will find themselves captivated by her athleticism. Think about it. If Clark can achieve such results in an all-star game, what can she achieve on the Olympic stage? The ratings might end up being around the same as the men's team. Maybe women's basketball is entering a new age. Nonetheless, it's not just Clark. She has shown us how influential celebrities can be. Sports fans, particularly those at the highest levels, are looking for the greatest. Storylines that resonate with them, extraordinary abilities, and likable protagonists are what they're after. View the events that took place during the height of Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi's careers. A large audience eagerly anticipated the next development. More than the game itself, it was a chance to see living legends play. That is something that Clark brings up in the discussion. Beyond being an exceptional athlete, she is a superstar. And another interesting thing about stars is the light they cast on their surroundings. When Clark is on a team, every player is more interesting. A must-watch TV series is born out of every game. It's not only about her individual achievements, but also about how she contributes to the overall growth of the sport. For the United States squad, what does this mean? So it's time to get up and move on. It shows how much interest there is in exciting women's basketball. Observing the right players in action is all that's required. Age and experience are less important than impact. Whoever can maintain the level of excitement throughout the game will be the winner. The Olympics aren't the right place for Clark, you might be thinking, but Clark is still a college student. I suppose so, but maybe a fresh perspective and renewed energy are just what Team USA needs. Sometimes it takes new blood to shake things up and get everyone pumped up again. All right, let's dive into the upcoming plans of Team USA. Now that we've covered the challenges and seen the ratings fall, we can move on to the future. Can Team USA turn things around? That is everyone's #1 concern. First up is our match against Germany, not just any old match. This is a chance to make amends. Here's hoping Team USA shows the world they're still the powerful contenders we always knew they were. But the thing is, winning isn't the only thing that matters. Their success is at issue. Clearly, the United States national team needs to do more than just rack up points. They need to reignite the passion of their followers. It is imperative that women's basketball players replicate the energy and excitement that initially drew fans to the sport. The point is for everyone to remember what makes them an ideal teammate. Then what is the plan of action? What can Team USA do to improve their ratings and regain the support of their supporters? It all starts on the court, of course. It is imperative that they give it their all. Nevertheless, flair is equally crucial to skill. The key is to play with passion, intensity, and that undeniable Team USA spirit. Think about it. What was it about basketball that initially captivated you? Was it the scores alone that determined everything, or was it the mind-blowing moments in the plays that kept you riveted? It is up to Team USA to bring it back. Their goal should be to create those moments that go viral, making people talk and sharing them on social media. Still, it's not limited to in-game events. Off the field, it's crucial for Team USA to connect with their fans. Things like social media engagement, content from behind the scenes, and giving fans a real glimpse into their lives are what we're talking about here. People want more than just to see athletes compete. They want to feel like they're a part of the action. Thinking, can they really turn things around that quickly, is a reasonable question to ask. These women are champions, that much is true. Difficulties are nothing new to them. When everyone else gave up, they persisted and eventually succeeded. They are not new to this. In fact, it will not be the last time. Keep in mind that these are the same sportsmen who inspired innumerable young women to take up basketball, set records, and won medals. They not only have the brains and experience, but also the heart to make it happen. We need to know if they can write their story of redemption now. However, let's be real for a second. Ratings aren't everything anymore. It is related to a more significant matter. They want to show the world that they are still the best. The objective is to prove that the United States women's basketball team is still one of the best in the world. Can you believe this? In order to appreciate something for what it is, we sometimes need a setback. Maybe the drop in viewership is exactly what Team USA needed. An alert, opportunity for a fresh beginning, to come back even stronger than before. As the match against Germany draws near, be sure to keep an eye on the score. Keep an eye out for those moments of clarity. Witness the passion and determination radiating from their every performance. Not just any old game, this is the start of something new for Team USA.